I found my granddaughter locked in a car. From the outside. Alone. She wasn't crying. She was sitting still, like she wasn't allowed to move. When she saw me, she didn't smile. She leaned closer and whispered. "Grandpa, you shouldn't be here." My stomach dropped. I turned. No one running. No one watching. But she kept looking past me. Like someone was supposed to be there. "He checks," she said. "He always checks." "Checks what?" "Checks who?" I grabbed the handle. Locked. I knocked. She flinched. Not from me. From what might happen next. That's when I understood. This wasn't a mistake. This was routine. I stepped back. Looked at the cameras. Counted the exits. Someone set this up. And they were confident enough to leave her like this. My name is Victor Hale. And in that moment, I knew I wasn't looking at neglect. I was looking at control. I didn't leave. I stepped away from the car. Slow. Like I wasn't involved. Like I hadn't seen anything. But I stayed close enough to watch. She didn't move. Not once. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. No one came. No one checked. No one even looked. That was the first thing that felt wrong. A child alone in a locked car. And no urgency. No panic. Just routine. I circled the row. Kept my eyes on the reflections. Windows. Mirrors. Black glass. That's when I saw it. A black SUV. 2 rows behind us. Engine running. Driver inside. Not moving. Not looking at a phone. Not talking. Just sitting. Watching. I walked past it once. Didn't look directly. Just enough to see his hands. Still. Too still. Like he was waiting for something to happen. Or not happen. I kept walking. Looped back around. Counted the cameras again. 3 covering the entrance. 1 angled toward the parking row. Pointed exactly at her car. Not random. Placed. Deliberate. I went back. Knelt slightly near the door. "Who checks?" I asked quietly. She didn't answer. Just shook her head. Her fingers tightened on her sleeve. "She talks," she whispered. "Sometimes she talks to him." My chest tightened. "Who?" Silence. Then. "She says I have to be good. She says I have to stay quiet. She says if I move, he gets upset." I felt something cold settle in my stomach. "Your mom says that." A pause. Too long. Then a small shake of her head. "No, she repeats it," my granddaughter said. Repeats. Not decides. Repeats. That was the second thing. This wasn't just control. This was instruction. I stood up slowly. Looked again toward the SUV. Still there. Still running. Still watching. And then. The headlights flicked once. A signal. Not to me. To her. She froze instantly. Back straight. Hands in her lap. Eyes forward. Like she'd just been corrected. No hesitation. No confusion. Just obedience. That's when the feeling changed. This wasn't fear. This was training. And I still didn't have proof. But I knew one thing for certain. Someone was close enough to see everything. And far enough. To stay invisible. I walked away from the car. Not far. Just enough to see without being seen. I needed to know if it was a coincidence. Or a system. I waited. 3 minutes. 5. Then the SUV moved. Slow. Too slow to be leaving. It rolled past her car. Didn't stop. Didn't signal. Just passed. And she reacted. Not with relief. With correction. Her shoulders tightened. Her hands went flat on her knees. Eyes forward. Perfect. Like she was being checked. I turned my back. Watched the reflection in a store window. The SUV stopped at the end of the row. Still running. Still watching. That was the second pass. Not random. Routine. I went inside the store. Didn't buy anything. Just watched the entrance. 2 employees walked out. Looked at the cars. Looked at her. Then looked away. Too quickly. Like they'd seen it before. Like they'd learned not to get involved. That was the third thing. Not hidden. Ignored. I stepped back outside. Different angle. Different view. Her car again. Same position. Same stillness. Except now. There was a bottle on the seat next to her. Water. I hadn't seen it before. I hadn't seen anyone bring it. I checked the doors. Still locked. From the outside. No one approached. No one touched the car. But the bottle was there. New. Unopened. I felt my pulse slow down. Not from calm. From focus. Someone had access. Without being seen. Or. She had been trained not to react. I walked past again. Didn't stop. Didn't look at her. Just spoke as I moved. Did someone come? A pause. Then, without turning her head. He doesn't like when I talk. Not an answer. A rule. I kept walking. Circled wider this time. Checked blind spots. Angles. Cameras. There was one gap. Between 2 poles. No coverage. Just a narrow strip of shadow. From there. You could reach the car. Quick. Clean. Invisible. I stood there. Waited. Nothing. No movement. No sound. But the SUV's engine. Still running. Always running. I looked back at her. Same posture. Same silence. Same waiting. That's when the pattern locked in. Check. Pass. Correct. Wait. Repeat. No emotion. No variation. Just control. And whatever this was. It had been happening long enough. For her to stop questioning it. I didn't go back to the car. Not yet. I needed one mistake. One crack. Something real. The SUV stayed where it was. Engine still running. Time passed. 15 minutes. Then. A man stepped out. Mid-40s. Clean clothes. Calm. Too calm. He didn't rush. Didn't look around. Just walked straight to her car. Like he'd done it before. He opened the driver's door. Unlocked. From a remote. No hesitation. He didn't speak to her. Didn't even look at her face. He reached inside. Adjusted something near the dashboard. Then placed a small bag on the seat. Food. Routine. Efficient. Like feeding a machine. I moved closer. Not directly. Just enough to hear. She stayed quiet, he asked. Flat voice. No concern. No warmth. My granddaughter nodded. Barely. He smiled. Not kindly. Satisfied. Good, he said. Then he leaned closer. Lowered his voice. You know what happens if you don't. She froze. I saw it this time. Not fear. Conditioning. He closed the door. Locked it again. From the outside. Walked back to the SUV. Didn't check surroundings. Didn't care. That's when I saw his face clearly. And everything inside me went cold. I knew him. Not personally. But I knew exactly who he was. My daughter's husband. I hadn't seen him in months. Always busy. Always traveling. Always, in control. I stayed where I was. Watched him sit back in the SUV. Watched the engine keep running. Watched the system reset. And suddenly. Everything she had said. Everything that didn't make sense. I went back to the car. Slow. Careful. She didn't turn. Didn't react. Is that him? I asked quietly. A pause. Then. Yes. No hesitation. No confusion. Just truth. He says I help mommy behave. The words hit harder than anything else. Not just control. Not just fear. Use. Purpose. She doesn't listen sometimes, my granddaughter added. So he says I have to stay here. I closed my eyes for a second. Just one. That was enough. This wasn't misunderstanding. This wasn't stress. This wasn't a bad marriage. This was structure. Deliberate. Maintained. Enforced. I looked at the SUV again. He wasn't hiding anymore. He didn't need to. Because from his point of view, no one was going to stop him. And for the first time, I understood the stakes. This wasn't about saving my daughter. This was about dismantling something that was already built. And if I moved too fast, he wouldn't lose control. He would tighten it. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I waited until he left. The SUV rolled out slow. Like it had all the time in the world. Like nothing could touch it. Only then I went back. Closer this time. Right up to the window. She looked smaller now. Or maybe I was finally seeing it. Where's your mom? I asked. She didn't answer. Just stared at her hands. They say she needs rest, she whispered. They give her medicine. My jaw tightened. What kind of medicine? Another pause. Then. The kind that makes her sleep when she's talking. Something inside me shifted. Not anger. Not yet. Clarity. She talks too much, my granddaughter added. He says it makes things harder. I felt my pulse slow. Too slow. Like everything inside me was narrowing. Do you see her? I asked. She nodded. Sometimes. When I'm good. A reward. Not a relationship. When you're good, how? She looked up at me. For the first time. Directly. Quiet. Still. No questions. I swallowed. Does she know you're here? That's when it happened. The moment that ended everything. She shook her head. No. A beat. Then. She thinks I'm at school. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. She says she'll come get me soon, my granddaughter continued. But he says she forgets things. Another pause. He says she forgets me. That was the. Not the control. Not the car. Not the system. That. He didn't just take my daughter's life. He rewrote it. Turned her into someone who forgets her own child. And made the child believe it. I stepped back. Just one step. But it felt like distance. Like something had already broken. How long? I asked. She frowned. Thinking. Since the new house, she said. Since Mommy got sick. Sick. That's what they called it. Not trapped. Not drugged. Not erased. Sick. I looked at the empty seat next to her. The food bag. The water. The routine. Everything clean. Everything controlled. Everything justified. And suddenly, I understood why no one stopped it. Because on the surface, nothing looked wrong. A child waiting in a car. A husband taking care of things. A woman resting. All legal. All explainable. All invisible. I leaned closer one last time. You listen to me, I said quietly. She looked at me. Really looked this time. You didn't do anything wrong. A small shake of her head. He says I did. I know, I said. He's lying. Silence. Then. Almost too quiet to hear. He doesn't lie. That was it. No confusion. No doubt. Just belief. That's when I knew. This wasn't something I could fix. This was something I had to break. And once I started, there was no way back. I didn't touch the car again. I didn't call the police. I didn't even look at the SUV when it came back. I left. Like I hadn't seen anything. That was the first step. Disappear. I drove home. Sat in silence. Replayed every word. Every movement. Every pause. Not emotion. Data. Patterns. I needed structure. I started with time. When he arrived. How long he stayed. How often he passed. I went back the next day. Same parking lot. Different spot. Far enough to watch. Close enough to see. She was there again. Same car. Same position. Same stillness. That confirmed it. Daily. Scheduled. I didn't approach. Not anymore. That would break the pattern. I needed him comfortable. Predictable. I watched the SUV. Timed the engine. Noticed something else. It never fully turned off. Even when he left. Even when he wasn't inside. Remote start. Always ready. Always controlled. I wrote it down. Everything. Times. Angles. Camera coverage. Blind spots. Then I expanded. I followed the SUV once. Not close. Not obvious. 2 cars behind. He drove straight home. Gated property. Cameras on the entrance. Private security sign. Not cheap. Not careless. That meant confidence. And protection. I turned around. Didn't push further. Too early. Back home. I made calls. Old numbers. People who owed me favors. I didn't explain everything. Just enough. I needed 3 things. Records. Movement. Proof of timing. One call gave me access to traffic cameras. Not official. But close enough. Another gave me property records. Ownership. Transfers. Dates. That's where it started to crack. The house. Not in his name. Not in hers. Transferred. Recently. To a trust. Third party. Layered. Hidden. I printed everything. Laid it out. Built the timeline. Then I went deeper. Medical records. Harder. More protected. But not impossible. Another favor. Another door. She had been admitted. Not long ago. Short stay. Exhaustion. Stress. Medication prescribed. Heavy. Too heavy for what was written. And the dates. Matched the signatures. Documents. Transfers. Everything aligned. That was the opening. Not force. Not confrontation. Timing. I went back again. Third day. Same lot. Same car. Same silence. But this time. I didn't watch her. I watched him. When he stepped out. I stepped away. Blended. Moved. Stayed behind. Close enough to hear. Far enough not to be seen. He was on the phone. Voice low. Controlled. No, he said. She's stable now. Pause. No incidents. Another pause. The child helps. That line stayed with me. Helps. Not family. Not care. Function. I left before he finished. I had enough. Not proof. Not yet. But direction. And he still didn't know. That was the most important part. He thought the system was closed. Controlled. Invisible. He thought no one was watching. I didn't need to break it. Not yet. I just needed him to keep using it. Exactly the same way. One more day. One more pattern. One more mistake. And then. I didn't wait for a perfect moment. I made one. The fourth day. I changed the pattern. I parked closer. Not hidden. Visible. Not enough to alarm him. Just enough to exist. The SUV was already there. Engine running. Routine. I stepped out. Walked straight past her car. Didn't look at her. Didn't stop. I let him see me. Through the reflection. Through the cameras. A variable. Something new. I went inside the store. Stayed near the front. Watched the entrance. Timed it. 3 minutes. Then 5. Then. He moved. The SUV rolled forward. Slower than before. Closer. He was checking. Not the child. Me. Good. That meant attention. Attention meant pressure. I stepped back outside. Calm. Neutral. Like I belonged there. He opened the door this time. Didn't wait. Didn't pretend. Walked straight toward me. Faster than before. Less controlled. Can I help you? He asked. Polite tone. Tight jaw. I was going to ask you the same, I said. No reaction. But his eyes sharpened. I've seen you here, he said. Several times. Same, I replied. A pause. Short. Uncomfortable. For him. She's my daughter, he added. Too quick. Too defensive. Wrong answer. I nodded. Then why is she locked in a car? That was the first. He smiled. Thin. Prepared. She's safer that way, he said. Short errand. I don't leave her alone. I didn't answer. Just looked at the car. Then back at him. From the outside? I asked. Another pause. Longer. He adjusted his stance. Small shift. First crack. She has a habit of wandering, he said. Doctor's orders. There it was. The script. Medical justification. Clean. Legal. Designed. I stepped closer. Not aggressive. Measured. Which doctor? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. Half a second. Then. Family specialist. Vague. Too vague. Second crack. She looks trained, I said. Not supervised. That hit. He exhaled. Slow. Control slipping. You're overthinking this, he said. Are you? Silence. Then. Behind us. A small sound. Not loud. Not dramatic. But wrong. We both turned. My granddaughter. She had moved. Just slightly. Her hands. No longer flat. Curled. Tight. Like she had broken a rule. His face changed. Instantly. No mask. No calm. Just irritation. Sharp. Focused. He turned away from me. Walked to the car. Fast. Too fast. Opened the door. Leaning in. Voice low. Cold. What did I say about moving? No kindness. No patience. Only control. She froze again. Immediate. Total. He shut the door. Locked it. Harder this time. Then turned back to me. Smile forced. But gone. Completely gone. That's why, he said. No explanation. Just justification. I nodded slowly. Like I understood. Like I accepted it. I see, I said. And I did. He wasn't confident anymore. He wasn't untouchable. He had to correct things in front of me. He had to explain. He had to react. That was the shift. Small. But irreversible. I stepped back. Calm. Controlled. Have a good day, I said. And I left. Didn't look back. Didn't rush. But I felt it. Behind me. His eyes. Following. Measuring. Adjusting. He knew something had changed. Not what. Not how much. But enough. And now. He couldn't ignore it. He would tighten control. Make fewer mistakes. Watch more closely. Good. That's exactly what I needed. Because pressure doesn't break a system immediately. It forces it to expose itself. I would choose the moment. I didn't confront him again. I invited him. A meeting. Neutral place. Quiet office. He came prepared. Lawyer. Documents. Confidence. He thought I was negotiating. He was wrong. I let him speak. He explained everything. Medical concerns. Safety measures. Control. He used the words himself. Didn't notice. Didn't stop. Then I slid the file across the table. Timestamps. Medication records. Signatures. Dates that didn't match. Traffic footage. His SUV. Same pattern. Same schedule. Every day. And the audio. His voice. Clear. Keep her still. The room went silent. His lawyer stopped writing. He didn't speak. Didn't argue. Because he understood. This wasn't a discussion anymore. It was a record. 3 weeks later. The house was no longer his. The accounts were frozen. The investigation opened. He didn't lose everything in one moment. He lost it slowly. Piece by piece. My daughter came home. Not the same. But present. My granddaughter. No longer waiting. No longer still. I didn't celebrate. I didn't need to. Control had changed hands. Quietly. Completely. Thank you for listening. Calm justice doesn't shout. It keeps records.